Good day, everybody. So, today I wanted to share a very frustrating moment that I've actually had this morning taking my son to school and coming home. As you can hear by my accent or not, I'm in South Africa, Gauteng. And, I took him to school, came back, and his new school is up a road called Malibongwe. It's one of our main roads in Gauteng. Excuse my throat, I'm just recovering from a mild sinus attack. Anyway, driving I hadn't even left my complex, right? And the taxis that love to come up the wrong way of the road, the opposite side, well, against the traffic, and drove past us up the road as we were waiting in our queue at the traffic light to turn right. He comes up the wrong way, and I won't. I've gotten to a point where I will not allow them to push me over anymore. I'm not going to be forced to disobey the rules, to encourage them to carry on disobeying the rules for fear that they're going to crash your car, create an accident. They don't care. They actually don't care. A lot of the accidents that are happening, those children that were killed the other day, I'm not sure if the news or how far it reached, were killed because of the bad behavior on our roads. The taxis have taken it to a level that is beyond recovery at this stage. And I'm at a point where I might be one person, and I know I'm not the only upset person on the roads, but I'm not letting them in. I'm not allowing them to push me over and to disregard and disrespect the rules of the road in my space. However, I can't be the only one. So, as I was driving to school, that was just to school. Coming back home, I now get involved in a cluster abomination. I'm trying to keep the language clean. As the taxis weave in and out and create 4-lane traffic. And now it's not only the taxis. So I'm not going to give them all the credit, because those on the road that have taken up the attitude of, well, if you can't beat them, join them, are joining them. Those that are meek and mild and a bit scared, which in all fairness, they do damage cars. Your car does get damaged. The other day I had another gentleman push in front of me. Gentleman, I'm so kind. Taxi person, driver, push in front of me, pushing me into the pavement. And I was like, no, not going to happen. And this is my space. You indicate and go, or you don't indicate and you just go. They angle their taxis in the hope that you're going to just, understand their intention, and they just go. And because so many people are used to it and in fear of having their cars damaged, they just go into the spaces. They move in, right? And I won't allow this. So, of course, I hit the side of his car in front of his tire. So if he wants to take it to a court of law, it'll be interesting to know how it was now my fault for driving into him when he just pushed in as I was moving forward, assuming that I'm just going to allow him to push in front of me. Whether this be right or wrong, I'm not sure anymore what's right and wrong in our world at the moment. So, in all my passion, I have calmed down, so I'm not sure how this is actually coming through in the video. It would have been worse earlier, and whatever was going on in my head even earlier, none of it would have made sense. It was so bad. Anyway, that taxi the other day got out of his car. He drove up to me at a red traffic light, pulled into an illegal lane on the side, got out of his car, took a photo of my car license, my number plate, as if I was in the wrong. I am telling you, I'm at the point where something needs to be done. And I think relying on the law and the leaders, I'm not sure when I say it's irrecoverable at this stage, there isn't enough staff on the law side of employment to actually fix this problem. So in my views, it is up to the people. It is up to the people of this country, and I suppose across the world, because I don't believe we're the only country that is an abomination at the moment. If you listening to the news, reading the news, listening to what's actually going on with our leaders of the world, never mind our countries, we walk this earth, and I've said it in a few of my other videos, if any of you have actually seen my other videos. We walk this earth. We live in our lands, in our spaces. We've got people fighting for countries, but they're not fighting for their homes and their spaces, and the way we drive in our roads, the way we walk, the way we live, being taken advantage of in the costs of our living. Everyone's after this fight for money and elbowing everybody out the way, and nobody's nice to each other anymore. Have you noticed conversations? Unless you're in your very familiar cliques and you have conversations, I'm hoping you're creating new conversation to talk about. But I got into a space where people were having conversations, but it's the same conversation that goes round and round and round. Shallow conversation, small talk. Nothing is deep and real and connective anymore. I find people, smiling at another person. You've heard all the sayings and the trainings of you make the first smile, then people will smile back, and you get to encourage each other to be better, and empowerment is good. But how much is actually really being practiced out there? How much of pulling together as a people across the world, never mind in your countries, your communities, and in your families, is really actually happening? The abuse, the emotional abuse, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, all of that stuff is on one side of things, it's there to teach you how to become a stronger person and a better person and becoming whoever it is that you want to be and discover about yourself. On the other side of it, it's just plain nasty and it's just plain ugly. And the people who don't feel strong enough sit in their spaces of fear, and they don't know how to move forward. They don't know who to ask. You don't know where to get help from. And as I was driving in the traffic this morning, I actually had a big thought about my business, this one, Live Smart Foundational Development. This is what it's about. It's about encouraging people to stand up and to stand up strong and to stand up to stand up for yourself, believing in yourself and knowing that you actually have the power to make the change. Not necessarily on your own. I can't do it on my own. If I have to walk in, to a taxi foundation, they'll probably shoot me dead. 1, 2, 3. The whistleblowers out there that have been shot for ratting out the people that are doing wrong and doing illegal business and all of that stuff have gotten into trouble. The drug runners, the trafficking. All of this stuff is absolute. It's abominable what is actually going on out there. And with Live Smart Foundational Development, I actually am asking people to come forward and walk with me to create the forward movement with forward thinking, with love and honor, and help teach the person next to you, help work with people to empower them to become a human being, to learn how to be you, to learn how to be yourself, to work with what's in your head about how you would make changes in your world. Talk to the person next to you, how would they make changes in their world, and find a form of collaboration to improve the worlds around you. We cannot keep driving and walking and living in this space where people just run over you, disregard you, disrespect, and think that it's okay. It is not okay. Yes, we have to learn our lessons. And this might be a perfect avenue for us as a people, as a human nation across the globe, not only in South Africa, not only in Israel, not only in Russia, Ukraine, America, really it's not only South Africa that is bad or looking bad. There is so much out there that we need to correct and bring to a space of human living in a peaceful way, living in a manageable way, never mind peaceful. I don't know that we'll ever find peace as such. We need to work on that inside ourselves first. But Live Smart Foundational Development is here. It is the start of pulling people together, bringing unity into community, into groups, into people, person to person, group to group, community to community, And I'd like to ask people to start working with me. I know there are other groups out there. There are other forums and activists and all sorts that are doing as much as they can to help the world improve. So this is just another one. I'd like to jump on the bandwagon, and I really, really would love people to help me help the other people out there. You know, I look around in the traffic and I watch the cars, and you know, no one will even acknowledge another person. Firstly, you're too scared to look anywhere else for being caught out for whatever you're thinking, never mind what you're doing. And I mean, I found myself disobeying rules because you've been forced to do it. You know, people disregard the people that need to cross pedestrians. There's no such stopping for pedestrian crossing. You know, if it doesn't start with us, where is it going to start? We want somebody else to step in and say the rules are this so that you can stand upright and abide by the laws. But are you going to? Are the other people going to? What is right? It's up to us. We know what's good and what's not good, what we want and what we don't want, what we want to work and what we don't want to work. You know, if you don't care, you don't care. You know, until you care, there is nothing you can do about it. But there will come a time when you're going to walk out your door and you're going to be able to look up to the sky and look around you and see more than what is in isolated incidences. And there is so much more we can actually do together. Not one at a time. One joining another makes two. Two joining those makes four. And the groups will grow. And within our groups and within our communities, we can actually make a difference. I know that there is movement out there. I know that things are happening. But I think we need to become a bit more aggressive in improving our worlds out there. So I'm not sure where this video is going to go. I might only have a few views. I might have no views. But I'm asking you guys to help correct the world. It's up to the people. The people need to make the difference. We need to tell our leaders, this is how we want to live. This is how we want to operate. And this is what we want for ourselves. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So thank you for listening if you made it this far. Live Smart Foundational Development is still a growing business. And yes, definitely reach out to me at livesmartfd@gmail.com. And together, hopefully we can make a difference. I have got other things in the go that I'm working on getting started up soon. And hopefully it's a fun journey going forward once we get through the riffraff and all the difficult parts of this journey going forward. Human growth, self-development is not easy. And it's something to actually be admired in each person. And from empowerment from my side to you, empowerment to myself, I encourage you to empower yourself as well in moving forward with forward thinking, forward development. And let's see where we can take all these new changes that are facing us going forward.